Okay, so here I'm down to one more stitch. And then what I'm gonna do here is get this lifeline out of here. So if I pull this, oops, I kind of got that pulled out a little too soon. Let's slide that back through and keep that coming up to the very last of those stitches. So you can see now that I have this lifeline still attached, and it's, you know, it tends to kind of want to pull up a little bit, but you can see, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to see that it's very faint, but that little yellow line is running now all the way through the knitting, all the way through that row of stitches. And so by pulling this needle out, then I'm just going to clip this off and pull out that. Now I can kind of pull that lifeline through a little bit more so there's a little more of it hanging out, so it's not going to slip through the knitting. And then I'll cut this side fairly long too. And voila, there is a lifeline running through my knitting on that entire row. We did it with just our needles and just knitting. And so here it is. You can kind of see it. You know, you just do your best to sort of keep it out of the way. Some people tie it up a little bit. Usually I just kind of let it hang down. And then on my next row, then I just go ahead. I'm back to putting my background and then my contrast. And then I set up for just my normal stranding row. And so I would just start to knit my normal stranding row. And I'm going to try to make it all the way through this cowl with one more repeat of this chevron pattern, plus the ribbing at the other end. And we'll see if I make it. And if I do, great. All I do is finish it off, weave in my ends. I can take out the lifeline and life is good. But if for some reason I don't make it, then, and I run out of yarn, then I can just whip out my needles, start unraveling and winding back up my yarn, and it will stop automatically when it hits this lovely little lifeline. And then once you get to the lifeline, it'll stop unraveling because those stitches are held, and then you would just take your needle and follow that lifeline stitch by stitch to get it back on your needle. And then I would just start knitting the ribbing with the blue yarn since I can't do another repeat. So that's how you put a lifeline in your work. I hope this has been helpful. Sorry for my setup here. It's a little funky tonight. I have this big, huge bright light above my glass table, and so I had to kind of kludge this in here. But anyway, take a look at this and give it a try.